Welcome to the True Chat podcast. I'm here. You don't need to know my name. It's all good. He's here.
You don't need to know his name either.
Yeah. We're currently in a Black Ops investigation in the middle of Al Qaeda's warehouse. Al Qaeda, if you're listening to this, well, you'll probably be dead by that point, but get wrecked.
Unless you're listening to us right now as we're recording and you're going to kill us.
You're right.
But
is that a dot on your forehead? No, I'm kidding. No, but I'm Michael. That's Valentine. I'm pointing at him. And welcome to the True Chat podcast.
We're going to talk about our time at McDonald's. The slow food restaurant.
Better known as McRollins, and the
Bowling,
Crack House. I would like to say that, first off, we didn't know what we were getting into when we first applied to that job. And I don't know how much we haven't said or have said so far, because I'm pretty sure we've said a little bit here and there about McDonald's, no?
I don't think we have.
Okay, good.
It's confusing to... We gotta talk about it.
So...
It's confusing to keep track of what we said in the podcast before.
Mm-hmm.
Because minimum, there's like 20 episodes we've recorded, but like only half of them have made it.
Yeah.
And there was one episode where we literally talked about our time working at McDonald's.
Like, that was basically the whole episode.
But Michael forgot to hit record on his end.
Or it just fucking stopped recording, bro. I don't know what happened. Because it kept doing that. It did that for like 2 episodes. 2 or 3. I don't know. But, yeah. It all started on a day where we went to McRollins. And we did not have money.
No.
Yeah. We went to go get a soda, or we went to go get food, and we have no fucking money. So we were like, yo, can we get like a drink? Just a cup. Because we were just going to be in there. It was like before COVID time, so we were just going to keep refilling that hoe. And
we already knew we didn't have, because it's $1.08. Before we went there, we had like $1.05.
Before they changed it, by the way, which I hate. I'm always upset whenever I go to McDonald's and I see it's like $1.99 for a fucking large Coke now, or drink, whatever.
Yeah, but
that's the point. My bad.
We already knew, but we're like, there's no way they're not gonna give us this fucking drink for 3 cents.
Like, you would expect like, oh, 3 cents, like, oh,
whatever,
bro.
Go ahead, take it.
So we fucking pull up. We're just gonna be like, oh, we don't have enough change, you know, and. We pull up, we order the fucking drink, and then we're taking out the money acting like we don't know we don't have enough money. And we're counting, we're like, I don't know if we give it to her or not, but we're like, oh, we're missing like a cent or 2 or 3 cents, something like that. And max 3 cents. It's no more than 3 cents for facts. And she's like, it's like she in at the cashier shit, and she's like, oh, yeah, y'all have to have, like, the full amount. So we're like, oh, okay. Because it's just 3 cents, right? And we just kind of, like, walk off. And we're like, And we just wanted to get something, so we were just, like, upset. Especially me. I just wanted to get something to drink. And we were just, like, expecting to get, like, just one drink. That's it. And I don't know who thought about it first. But we decided we're going to write a fucking review. Like a bad review for fucking McDonald's. And I start creating a fucking email because we were like, we're going to hide our trace. We're going to make sure they don't know who we are on some secretive shit. I don't know. And I come up with the email, Ramon Stallone Productions at gmail.com. Email me there for promotions or whatever. You know, some site. No, I'm kidding. So we create the email, and we start writing the review. I do not remember what the review said. Do you remember?
I know we were just being extra as fuck.
Yeah.
We said exactly what happened, and we were like, I've never felt. No, actually, we exaggerated what happened.
We exaggerated.
We exaggerated that the cashier was being like a straight up asshole, and we were like, I've never been disrespected like this ever in my entire life, or some bullshit. It's like, I'm a man of high class or some shit. Like, never before have I been disrespected like this. Blah blah blah. 1 star.
I don't know. It was just fucking hilarious, bro.
And we like did some form of like non-violent threat. We're like some shit like lawyers or some bullshit.
Yeah, like we'll be like contacting corporate type shit like that, something.
Yeah, some shit like that.
And we fucking leave the review, and that's that, right? Keep in mind, this. Well, I don't know how long before we applied to McDonald's this was, but I know it was less than a couple months, a month, something like that.
I don't know. All I remember is that we first applied like in February, the beginning of February, and we never ever got contacted by them, and then later we applied again one last time, and like the next day they interviewed us, and then they're like, all right, come in tomorrow. Or some bullshit.
But I know it was less than 4 or 3 months facts, because we applied and the second time, and we got the fucking call back, and we kind of like set it up so we have like the interviews like right next to each other type shit, like kind of close by at the same time. So we both pull up, right?
We got interviewed together.
Yeah.
Remember that?
and since it was so close, we were like, we're just gonna show up, and you can go first, and then whoever can go first, type shit like that. Like we just switch off, because we were like, we basically got there together. I think we were gonna leave together too. So we get there, and the manager meets with us. We're like sitting next to each other, type shit. We're like in the same table, and we're like, oh yeah, he's also here we're both here for the interview. So he's like, oh shit, fuck it, let's interview you both. He's cool, whatever, we finished the interview. We get hired. And
first red flag was like our first day there was during a band banquet.
Yeah.
And we're like, do you think we could do it the day after that? And they're like, nah, you have to go.
Yeah.
That day. And we were late as fuck to our fucking band banquet.
We were late, and I had a suit from my band banquet, so I felt super fucking extra, bro. I felt so extra coming into that McDonald's in an interview. It wasn't for the interview, but it kind of made it seem like I went there dressed up for the interview for a fucking McDonald's, and I felt extra as hell. That's number one.
Wait, did we get hired right then and there and we started training?
I know we got hired then and there, but I think we needed like social security cards, some bullshit like that.
We also needed to buy our non-slip resistant shoes.
That fucking bullshit too, yeah. So I think it was either like the day after we started working or a couple days after max. No more than like 2 or 3, I think. Because it was pretty fucking fast.
Yeah. But they didn't let us reschedule our first fucking day. And we didn't even get fully trained because of that. So that's their fault. We literally trained for like, what, 3 hours? Less?
We trained for 3 hours. Most of it being on a fucking computer looking at slides, I think. Like, it was like a little computer shit. We had to like take turns, I think, looking through the fucking like slides and like, oh, welcome to corporate McDonald's or whatever the fuck. These are the 3 types of pillars that we strive to reach in McDonald's culture, type shit like that. Bullshit.
Yeah.
And also, as soon as it was our first day,
we got thrown into the shitter.
We got thrown into the fucking shitter, right? I'm like just I'm kind of like nervous because I'm like, I don't know what to expect, because it's my first like official job, like at a quote unquote professional setting, and I'm like, oh shit, let's see what the fuck is good. And I go a couple hours or minutes, I don't know how long it was, but point is, that first day, I think either Violet pointed out or I did that no, not yet. It wasn't yet, right?
I don't know, but what did we point out?
That the girl who didn't let us get our drink
Was still working there?
was still working there.
No. I think that was like our second day there. Like our first action day. And I was like, bro, I think that's a girl.
Because not on like some like rude type shit, but she was very... She had like very a distinct look to her. So I didn't notice because I was kind of nervous on my first day, I guess. And then you pointed it out, and I'm like, yo, how could I fucking forget? Because she's very like, she's tall. She's super tall. She's very like white skinned almost, but she's like Mexican, so she has like green eyes. I think she had like green eyes or some bullshit like that.
Yeah, it was like hazel.
Yeah,
green,
something like that. So she was like,
but she was Mexican.
Yeah. So I couldn't believe I fucking didn't remember that.
But it was weird how none of us brought up the incident, and she didn't bring it up either.
Yeah.
She also never like once said, "Oh, do I know you?" Like,
which I know if we fucking knew, if we remembered her, well, I don't know. She might have not remembered us.
You know what? I mean, we talked about this already, but like, I feel like what happened was that it was like her first fucking week there.
Yeah. And
she was like, "Damn, I don't know if I'm allowed to just take in orders that are not meeting the amount of money that they owe." Probably, most likely. I think I was afraid to fucking do that too, but at one point I just started not giving a shit about anything.
Yeah, same. Like I remember at one point I was like, "Oh man, I gotta make sure I give him the right change," and then at another point I was just like, I give him even extra change, like a couple of 10 cents. I'm like, bro, I'm not going to count this, bro. Because I think they have a machine which releases the coins in exact change. But there was either one line or at one point where it didn't work. So you had to like count it out. Or either I didn't count it out or something. It was just like, it was done. But still. Going back to like our first couple of days. So we don't get trained for shit. I think they put valet on the like drive-through lines, right? Yeah. I don't know how like your experience went with that, but you can go ahead.
I just remember it being like fucking awkward because I didn't know shit, and like they would be like, I want this. I just remember all the bro. I've never drank coffee in my fucking life before at this point. So I didn't know shit about coffee lingo.
Oh, man.
And I was working the front. And the lady's like, "Can I get a large black coffee?" And I was like, "Bro, I don't know what the fuck black coffee is." So I put decaf on the house.
Oh, man, bro.
And she's like, she like looked at me and was like, "Did you really just put decaf on that?" And I was like, "Yeah, my bad." Bro, and then I put just regular coffee, and I was like, "So do you want any cream or sugar on that?" And she's like, "No, I said it's black coffee." And I was like, "Bro, I don't know what that means." And that was like one of my first days there.
Because that's what I'm saying. They didn't fucking train us. So we had to figure out basically by ourselves where every fucking thing was. Yeah. And there's a lot of shit, bro.
And it was really awkward because back to my first fucking day there, they like threw me in the drive-thru lane and they're like, "Just do it and we'll show you." So we had someone like watching over us our very first day. Yeah. And I felt like we were holding up the line because every little thing was like, "Can I get a McChicken?" And I'd be like, "Yo, where's the McChicken?" Yeah. "Can I get this?" "Yo, where's this?" I wanted that a combo. It's like, how do I make that into a combo?
Like, bro, if they want fries, but they want them large and the Coke large or small, what the fuck do I do now?
Every little thing, bro, we have to ask.
And I felt like that especially happened in my dumb ass because I have shit memory. So, like, they would tell me, like, how to do something. And then a couple orders later, I'd be like, "Yo, can you show me how to do that again?"
Can you give me a water?
Yeah. And I'd be like, "Fuck, bro." So, yeah, like I said, like they showed us where everything was, but they didn't necessarily like train us. So it was just like they kind of just showed us the layout, and then basically they said, "All right, you got it."
And then another thing, I don't know what my mouth's right. But we're supposed to repeat the order once they pull up to the window and before they pay. But what I would do is that I would just repeat back like the main item. So they had like just a chicken sandwich meal with like a Sprite and large fries. I would only say, "Did you have the McChicken sandwich meal?" And they'd be like, "With this, and that." And I was like, "Yeah, with that." And they're like, "Yeah." And then like I did that 10 more times. And I was like, okay, maybe I should just say the whole fucking order because it's just getting annoying.
Yeah.
And I don't know why my voice is doing this.
And then, like, I don't know, because there was like at least 2 or 3 managers that we like ended up meeting. The first one being the one that interviewed us. I don't want to say names unless you think that's fine.
I think it's fine.
Well, we'll just say
the shit he did was more questionable than us saying his name.
Yeah.
His name's fucking Rolando.
Yeah, his name's Rolando. And I don't know if we should put it. Nah, I'm not going to put it out there.
What?
Yeah.
Nah.
It
doesn't, I don't think it matters.
But, nah?
The laugh?
Sure. Well, okay.
Or what? What are you going to say?
Just...
Nah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Don't say it.
Okay. Well, point is, that manager right there, we have something else for him later on. We'll talk about that later. But we met Rolando. I don't know who the other 2 were, but there was one specific one that I remember. She was like, I think... And... Okay, well...
There was like the shorter, chubby one, a little bit, and then there was a tall one with curly hair.
Yeah.
And skinny. She was skinny.
Yeah.
I have like a funny story about her.
Okay, so it was those 3, right? We ended up meeting them through the course of like a couple days, and we're getting to like slowly know everyone, right? Trying to be chill with them, I guess. I mean, at that point, I feel like I was still pretty awkward talking to people, so like it wasn't like I was having a hard time, but I wasn't like trying to make a relationship. I was just worried about like, okay, let me fucking figure out how to do this shit, bro, because I do not know how to do this. So I don't know who found out first. I think it was you that found out that the managers are either cousins.
They're all related.
They're all related.
Cause I remember seeing this fucking happen. They're like, "Hey, I'm gonna go, but just clock me out in like 30 minutes." And they would always do this. They would always do this, and then they'd be like, she would say, "Clock me out in 30 minutes, and like before I get here tomorrow, clock me in like at this time, but I'm not gonna get here until this time."
Yeah.
So literally, all of them were stealing fucking money from McDonald's this way, which.
I mean,
I don't care.
I don't care.
But they were being dicks to us about not wanting to take our fucking breaks within the first 30 minutes of us getting there.
Which is some fucking bullshit, bro. Literally, we got there, 30 minutes to an hour, they're like, "Oh, you can take your break." And it's not like you could say fucking no.
Because they'd be like, "No, just take it right now." Because I was like, I just got here. Can I not take it? And they're like, "Well, we're not busy right now.
Yeah. So
we're going to want you when the store is fucking packed. So just take your break right now." And I was like, "Oh."
And like at the time, like I said, it was like my first quote unquote professional setting type of shit, corporate mode or whatever the fuck. So I didn't know what the fucking expectations were for any of this. So I was just like, fuck, bro. Like, I'm expected to take a fucking break. The only break I have, 30 minutes to an hour right as soon as I clock in, bro. That's some fucking bullshit. Which they didn't even give us free meals, by the way. They gave us discounted meals. They gave us like free meals, like a little chicken sandwich.
Oh, but if you wanted the bougie ones,
yeah,
you'd have to. They take it off your check, right? Or you have to pay right there.
I think the only times I did get it, I paid for it at discount price. That's it though.
Because I do remember getting one of like the bougie meals, but I don't remember like, here's money.
I remember there was 1 or 2 times they were like, "Oh, you can go ahead and don't worry about it," type shit. Because I started getting like friendly with the people in the kitchen too. So like, "Oh, you want a Big Mac or whatever?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." But I remember paying for like the actual meals a couple times because they had a specific burger. I don't know what the fuck it was. It was like a.
They had signature burgers at that time, right?
That's
it was
what
the maple bacon one.
That was the one I got.
And it was like the mustard Dijon or some shit.
Something like that. And then there was a fucking avocado one or some bullshit like that. Yeah.
This was back in 2017, bro. But it was like, I remember those burgers were like badass. One of them was, I forgot which one I got, but that one was good as fuck.
I remember I specifically would get the maple bacon one, some bullshit like that with the bacon and something, maple sauce or barbecue sauce, whatever the fuck. That was the one I got whenever I got the big meals. But yeah, it was on some bullshit. Them giving us like a break, like 30 minutes to an hour, like as soon as we clocked in, which is why when we figured out that they were like all related. Then afterwards, we figured out that not only were the managers related...
They were related to some of the crew members.
To some of the crew members as well. There was only like max 2 or 3 that were not related out of all of them. Maybe, I don't know about the kitchen people, but I know 50 to 70% of all the employees there were somehow related, I think. Mm. And once we figured that out,
we hated them more.
Bro. It was so weird.
Because they were so lenient with each other, but when it came to us, they're like, nah, you have to follow these like strict ass fucking rules that we're breaking all the fucking time. This and that.
It was on some fucking bullshit, bro. But yeah.
And I got a little hint of homophobia from them.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but anytime I hang out with a guy, they think we're fucking dating, bro. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, because
I'm just gay like that.
Because that's what happened with us, me and Vale.
And I'm pretty sure they thought we were dating.
Because look, this is what happened when we first applied. I think they thought that we were like brothers, and then we didn't say anything until like the first or second day. They were like, "Oh, are y'all like brothers or something like that?" And we were like, "No, we're not. We're just friends." Mm. And after that, I did feel like their vibes changed about us a little more, because at first we were able to like kind of stay together, like be like I think in the same area, but then. I feel like as soon as we told them that we were not brothers, only friends, they like separated us immediately. Yeah. And I remember only doing like they taught us at the same time kind of in the first couple of days. But then immediately they put me at the front cash register and then Vale at the drive-through shit. Mm-hmm. And it pretty much stayed like that the entire time, I think. With the exception of a couple of times when, like, I guess he wasn't there or I was there. I don't know what happened when I wasn't there, but I know that whenever I was at the front and it was slow, or like someone else would come in and be like, "Oh, you can take a break or whatever." Right after my break, they would make me go in the back, wash the big fucking machines. Every fucking single one. I washed every single one of those machines at least once, bro. The fry keeper machine, it was like a fridge. They would make me take all the fucking fries out that hoe, wash that hoe. I don't think we could move that one. But then there was a couple machines that you can move, and I would help them put them back, and they'd be like, "Oh, can you wash this for me?" And I'd be like, "I guess. I mean, what the fuck am I? Nah, I'm good." So
you know what? I don't feel like it, bro. Go ahead. I think you got this one.
You got it right. Nah, but I would be like, "All right, yeah, I can do it." So I would be cleaning out that hoe, right? And I would be like on some serious shit, like in the first like 30 minutes. But after like 40 minutes to an hour, I was like, I'm just going to chill out and just kind of like take my own time or whatever, right? And they would come by every once in a while to check on my progress. And I would be like, "Oh, like, what do you think? Is it done?" And they'll like inspect it and shit and be like, "Can you like clean this little thing more?" And I would be like, "Okay." They would come back again and they would find something else to fucking bring up and bullshit. They did that until I basically watched Every time they made me wash a machine, it took 1.5 hours approximately. Maybe less, maybe more. But it did not take less than an hour every time they made me wash a machine. And it's because every time they were like, oh, can you do this or do this extra thing or this fucking other shit, bro? And I washed, I'm pretty sure during my duration there, more shit than anyone, bro. I would be half my time in the back washing shit during my shifts, bro. I don't know why, but I fucking hated that shit, bro.
So did I do like double lanes and window more than you did?
Yeah.
Bro, that shit was fucking scary the first time. Those were like the worst fucking days, but they went by fast. Well, no, they did not. They did not go by fast. It was just mindless. Cause I don't know why, but apparently we needed to have one person getting orders for the 2 lanes in the drive-thru, and also taking people's money and change and giving them change back. All fucking 3 things at the same time. So,
yep,
that shit was fucking terrifying. The very first time I had to do that, I shit myself. I was pissing and crying and shitting and farting, bro. Because
technically speaking, there's supposed to be 2 people like at the first window. Mm-hmm. Like one of them taking the money, and while the other one is still taking orders and shit for one of the lines.
You know what else they had me do on top of that? They would have me cleaning fucking trays. Bro, you remember like they would have us cleaning trays and like putting paper on them. I
fucking hated doing that shit. Whenever they put me on the fucking line, I'd be taking orders and be like, they would come up like on some sneak shit almost. Put the trays right next to you and be like, oh, can you clean this? And I'm over here taking orders and fucking doing shit and fucking taking money. What the fuck am I supposed to say? No. Like, bitch, I'm fucking busy. Do you not see me doing this shit? And then they expect us to fucking clean the trays while taking orders and shit. The most frustrating was for me at the front, whenever I was at the front and not out in the back fucking watching shit, was like I would have to sometimes do both lines for some reason. Like, I would like take an order, and while like they were like finishing their counting of fucking, because bro, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with people, but there are so many people who come to the front and count coins or count their money like slowly, like on the shit. So whenever I saw them start to do that process, I'd be like, you know what, I'll be right back. Go to the next line, take the next order, and hopefully they were not doing that, so they just gave me the fucking money. I would give them the change. Bam. I would come back and be like, "Are you ready?" If they were ready, bam, I would give them their shit, and then I would give the food and stuff. The only like annoying shit was having to do like the ice cream, because it was like right at the front, so you'd have to pour the shit, put it in the fucking machine, and still take orders, but still
right in front of them.
Right in front of them. Which is why it was so fucking awkward, bro. Because you was just kind of like, you're back against them. You're just kind of like looking side to side, see if we could. They're not doing shit. Because what the fuck? And they expect you to be like right there in front the whole time. So it's just like, you're kind of like, everyone's looking at you. So you're just like, acting like you're doing shit. Like I would be like on the screen tapping random shit.
Yeah, and they're like, you need to look busy at all times.
Yeah.
Like, the customers cannot see you, like, not doing anything. And so they would make us do, like, stupid-ass fucking shit, like reorganizing the sauce packets inside the little cubby shits. Bruh. Like, you know what, like...
Yeah. Like, they would... Like, the most extra shit that they would do besides, like, the cleaning of every single fucking machine, basically, was, like, make us what was it called, the machines in the front, they would make sure that they were all filled up to the fucking top, and then have extra shits, which I didn't mind, right, until there was none, and then they were like, oh, can you like go find in the back some fucking extra shit, right, for the whatever, the cups or the silverware, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And in the fucking back, there's so many boxes. They're all stacked up on like, I don't know what they're called.
Shelves?
Like shelves that you can move.
Yeah, you can like move them back and forth. And
Yeah,
shit.
like shit like that. And they always swore that there was shit back there, bro. For
wasn't.
everything we needed. There was not. We did not have everything we need, bro. I know there's at least 5 or 6 times when I went back there. I looked for a good 30 minutes. They would be like, bro, it's back there. Trust, it's back there. I'd go back a couple times and be like, it is not back there. They would go back there and be like, it's not back there. And they'd be like, well, we'll order some or some bullshit like that.
Did you ever have to like take out the trash and like crush the boxes?
I think a
and
couple
then put
times.
them into a big ass fucking box and then take the box outside and shit.
Only like 1 or 2 times, I think.
That's something. That's one thing I would do a lot too. And then on top of that, I would also have to like mop and clean tables over in the play area.
I hate that shit, bro. But yeah, because it's not even like, it's not even that the job was like super hard. It was pretty hard considering the fucking pay.
Yeah.
Because we were getting paid like $8 something?
No.
$7 something?
We were getting
6?
paid $7.25. You know, my saddest day there at fucking McDonald's is that someone gave me an $8 tip. Oh. And I was like, this is literally more than I make in an hour. And I was fucking sad and depressed the whole day, bro. Like, they really got me working this fucking hard to make less than $8 an hour.
Use it. Bruh. But yeah, like, it was, like I said, it wasn't hard, super hard. It was just annoying, the simple fact that they were all basically fucking related. So they not only did they try to take advantage of the system while fucking us over, but the pay was just like not enough for the bullshit that they were trying to do. I don't know what they were trying to do, but they were on some bullshit. Straight facts. So not only is like the corporate setting of the McDonald's some bullshit, but the simple fact that it was basically a fucking monopoly of that fucking family. it was on some extra shit, bro. Because I'm telling you, people who were not their family
were fucked,
bro. Including that one girl who denied us that soda, which is, I don't even blame her at this point, because like she was not a part of their family, so she was basically also fucked. But she was cool though. I remember her. And that one dude, I forgot his name.
There was 2 dudes.
They look kind of the same, right?
I'm not talking about yes, but one of them was in the kitchen and one of them was a crew member.
Mm-hmm.
But on top, because those 2 guys were like kind of tall and kind of like chubby.
Yeah.
And then the other guy would always wear like a jacket with like a fireball on it. And he was skinny and he had like a mustache. And kind of like a scruffy beard, facial hair. He took us to Sonic one time on our break. We all 3 of us had a break and we went to Sonic.
I do remember that.
And he was like, I'm about to spark it after work. Do you guys want to come? And I was like, nah.
Yeah. He
invited us to do that. Do you remember him?
I remember him. I remember the trip to Sonic specifically. But I don't remember his face. I know we went to Sonic with someone from work, but yeah.
I get, like, he was, like, the person I was closest to outside of, like, you.
Yeah. The closest person I had was probably that one girl. There was another dude. He was cool. I think it was him. I think that's who you're talking about, but I don't...
He would always wear a black jacket over his McDonald's uniform.
I think so.
It was, like, a black jacket with red accents, like, red letters, and, like, a red little fireball thing.
Mm-hmm. I think so. I'm pretty sure. I think.
I don't know.
Alright. But, yeah. I think he was also, like, a part of their whole cousin's family thing. No?
I don't know. I think one of the chubby guy was the one that was related to them. He was like, yeah, we're all related here. And he was like, except for these couple people, and I was like, oh, cool. But I was pissed off on the inside that he said that.
Yeah.
I probably would have been happier if I hadn't known they were all related to each other.
I would have been fine, bro. I would have been just fine. I'd be like, all right, everybody's getting treated like shit. It would be like ignorance. Ignorance would have just been my bliss.
Yeah, because it would have been less obvious to notice.
Yeah, all the shit
that was going on, like them clocking each other out and shit. Like,
yeah. I
just remembered that they would make us clock out, like before we, what the fuck do we have to do after we, like, they made us do something after we clocked out. It was like clock out when you're going to get your stuff to leave and not when you're leaving.
Yeah.
It was that bullshit.
They hated when we do that shit. I remember that, yeah. Because I remember specifically, I went in the back one time to get my shit, and I was kind of like, I wasn't chilling there for more than 5 minutes max. I'm pretty fucking sure. I'm over here recollecting my shit, right? I'm kind of chilling. I'm like, resting because, fucking McDonald's shift. Fuck that. So I'm over here, okay, recollecting my thoughts, getting my shit together. They're like, oh, did you clock out already? He's like, oh, you gotta clock out before you fucking get your stuff, right? They didn't say fucking, but you gotta clock out before you get your stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, well, can you do it right now before you get your stuff? And I was like, well, you gotta leave your stuff here.
Oh yeah. And they
then,
made a big fucking deal about it. That shit was fucking stupid.
And I was like, bro, I'm already here with my stuff. I'm just about to leave. It was on some bullshit. And then, what was extra on some bullshit was that I don't know what day it was, but it was one day where me and you were working at the same time. Mm-hmm. And it was like in the middle of our shifts at one point. And one of the managers, Rolando, I don't know who asked who first or whatever, but he comes up to me. He's like, hey, can you let me borrow your phone?
Oh my god.
And I'm like, oh yeah, for what? And he's like, oh, because I gotta do this. I gotta do something on your phone, like a survey or some bullshit, right? And
he didn't tell us what it was until after.
Right.
But he made it sound like it was something official.
Yeah,
kind of verifying some shit.
And I was
like through our account or some shit. It was some weird shit.
Yeah.
But he didn't tell us what he was doing. But then he was like, "Oh yeah, I just gave us good reviews," and I was like,
And when he got our phones and he left to the back into his little office or whatever,
because he got everyone's phones and then dipped, right? Everyone's phones. So he asked other people before he asked us, and my thought process was like, he's asking for everyone's phones, and they're like just willingly giving them to him.
Yeah. And
they're like login, like their passcode. Mm-hmm. So I was like, maybe it's nothing.
Yeah.
No one said no to him, so I was like, all right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was just kind of like weird, but I was just like, I mean, what the fuck is he gonna do? Type shit. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck. So I give him my phone. Right. I'm at the front at this point. I don't know where you were. I don't remember.
I was like on the drive-thru window.
Well,
no, we were all chilling at the front.
Right?
Yeah.
I thought so. And I remember I was at the front. And there's like a straight kind of clear shot out and like at one point in the front. We can see straight down the fucking restaurant through the like kitchen and stuff straight into the manager's office. And I remember looking back to that point, and all you see is Rolando with like multiple phone screens on, looking at one phone and switch to another. He was on some he was just switching phones straight up the bat on like in the middle of the darkness. He didn't even turn on the light. So it was just like all you saw was this small fuck in the middle of the darkness. All you saw was a side profile on some phone switching from one phone to another, and in the darkness too. So it was just like super weird because I just got a glimpse of him. I was just like, the fuck? So I'm just like, all right. It was just so weird. And then the fact that he told us he was gonna, after he gave us our phones, he told us that he was just completing surveys to give us good reviews or whatever the fuck. That was just like, that's when we knew.
There's some fuckery right here, bro.
It's some fucking bullshit right here, bro. They have a whole monopoly. Because the thing is, they're still working there. At least 2 of the managers are still working there. I don't know about Rolando specifically. I haven't seen him. But I know the other 2 ladies are still working there. So they obviously have been doing this for a while. They have set plans in motion as we speak right now. Where like a month from now, they're going to do some reviews. A couple months later, they're going to do some other shit.
I wonder how much money they've stolen from McDonald's, like, in terms of their clocking in and clocking out shit that they do. Probably, like, in the thousands at this point.
Yeah. Because I know they've been working there even before that for a couple years. And from that point when we were hired to now, it's been 5 years?
Ish. Yeah, 5 years. 4.5.
4.5. 4.5 years. I don't do math, but that's a lot of time.
That's a lot of time, bro. Especially if they did it every single day, which I don't fucking doubt that they did it every single day.
It's not like they're going to be like, oh, you don't have to do it for me this day type shit. I know for a fact they did it every day, probably. Most likely. So, yeah. It's just the fact that I would have been totally okay with it. Everything that I did. As long as we weren't getting paid $7 an hour, bro. Mm-hmm. I've done that same amount of bullshit at another job. Got paid way more. And I was totally fine with it. I was obviously like... I was trying to like to be on bullshit like with them. Because they would make us do a bunch of bullshit. But I was okay with it at the end of the day because of my pay. But... not McDonald's, bro. Every day I clocked into that fucking place, bro.
We couldn't even have fun in that home, bro. I remember the store was empty. Michael was in the front, and I was wiping down tables. And I was like with the little cleaning rag, I was like swinging that shit like a sword and like smacking the table. And one of the managers was just like looking at me disappointed as fuck and like shaking her head. And I was like, bro, literally know what's in this bitch, bro. Do you remember that? That shit was like a scene from The Office, bro. Because I was just fucking around, and she's just straight up looking at me like, "Oh my god, this motherfucker is like what, 18 and acting like a little kid, bro."
And that's the thing. That's the thing. When we were together, we would like fuck around in secret because of that simple thing. Like I remember specific times where we'd be on some bullshit like or something like on secret. Like we were like just there, kind of like acting like, oh, like we're doing our jobs. And then, like, in the middle of, like, us not doing anything, we were just, like... Yo. Or something. I don't know, like, some stupid shit. Like, we would do some stupid movements or something.
And, like, make faces at each other and shit. Like, I don't know.
Like, on some secret shit, make sure they didn't see us or anything. Because if they saw us, they would be like, disappointment mode. Like, get back to work type shit.
I remember that shit so clearly, bro. She was just, like...
Bruh.
Oh, man.
And I don't know if you were there during that day, but I specifically remember that while I was working for them, there was like a storm that happened.
I wasn't there. Wait. I remember it raining super hard one night.
It was during the night.
Maybe I was there.
Maybe like for the part of it. Because I know... Okay.
Was this when the power went out?
Yes.
I wasn't there for that.
Okay. Well,
they told me that there was like that one girl that only worked night shifts that they sent her back there to clean, and right before they sent her back there to clean, they're like, "Oh yeah, que susan," or like, "This place is haunted. There's ghosts in this bitch."
Yeah.
So
specifically in that playground area, right?
So they specifically sent her to clean that area, and the fucking power went out, and apparently she was like screaming and shit.
Yeah, like apparently she freaked out. Oh my god, bro. She was only there. I think that girl was only there for like 2 or 3 days. Because I only saw her for 2 or 3 days, and then she was gone. Like, I never saw her again.
Well, I trained her.
You did, right?
Yeah.
I remember I trained her a little bit too at the front.
And she only did night shifts, like overnight. Mm-hmm. So we weren't there because we only did like midday shit.
You're right.
Like 10 to 6. Yeah, it was 10 to 6 because whenever breakfast ended. Because I only did breakfast once. That shit was fucking a whole different fucking set of people were there, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize anyone. I only did breakfast for one day. The breakfast shift.
I fucking hate the breakfast shift, bro. You always have to get the jellies and fucking butters and shit, bro. Hate that. But going back to that night, it fucking stormed. I guess you weren't there. And it was in the middle of like the storm. It was kind of slow, so they were making us like do some bullshit, restock, wipe down tables and shit. And I'm at the front, and it starts like really getting bad. So I'm just like, I'm gonna get stuck here at fucking McDonald's, bro. I know it, because it was really bad. Like, it was raining, like thundering and everything, like lightnings and everything. So the power goes out. Bam. I'm just like, well, yeah, there it goes. You're not gonna be able to get me. I don't know when this shit gonna end. Fuck. And I was stuck at McDonald's, bro. Fuck. And we're just kind of waiting it out, because the power did not come back on for at least an hour. At least. It might have been like 2 or 3, who knows, but I know it was gone for at least an hour, because within the time that it turned off and it came back on, I basically had a whole fucking side mission. It turned off, and in the middle of it being turned off, we were trying to figure out what to do, and we were kind of like, that was the only time we kind of really did nothing, until someone was knocking at our door. Or no, someone came to the door, and they were like, can you help me? My car's stuck. I need a phone to call, like, something, like a taxi or some bullshit, like a fucking something. So I'm like, fuck it. I don't think I need approval to help this guy out, so I'm already helping the guy out, right? I give him my phone number, or I search up a taxi for him. It's like an older guy, like in his 70s, 80s. He's pretty old. So I'm calling the number for him, right? I'm right there with him at the door. I let him come in, because I think we close it, and I'm like calling him. He's like, what's your name? And he gives me his name. I give him the name, right? They're like, oh, okay, the taxi cab will be there in like 30-40 minutes, whatever. And like during that time, I'm like, after I called him, I'm like, all right, I called him, you'll be good, just I gotta go back to work. I go back to work, and they're like, where have you been? And they're like, oh, there's this guy over here, and he just needed help. And he was like, you know you can't help him, right? Like, the store closed, and like, that's a stranger. Who knows what he could have done? I'm like, you're right, but I already did it, so it's too late. And they're like, okay, well, just get back to work. So they're just making us clean bullshit, right? The power's still off. We had nothing to do, so we're just kind of really just doing little things. I didn't mind, because we weren't doing much. I get a call from the taxi cab. They're like, oh, we went around, we couldn't find you, and our guy had to leave. So I'm like, can you not send another one? Because I'm looking at the guy from like the windows. I'm looking at him where he's at, because he's in his car. And I'm like, can you like send another guy? Like, how did you not find him? And I'm just like trying to figure out like another way to get a fucking taxi over here, because the taxi decided to, I don't know what the fuck happened, but I guess it was a storm. He just decided not to look thoroughly, because I could clearly see him from inside the store. And I'm trying to get his attention, because I'm like, yo, the taxi's not coming, or it's gonna be some more time. I forgot what it was. But I get out I open the fucking, I get out my station, open the fucking door. I'm trying to wave him down. He can't see me, because it was really bad. I'm not trying to go all the way over there, middle of the storm. Fuck that. So I'm in a dilemma of I don't know what to do because I told this guy that there would be a taxi for him. There's no fucking taxi. And I don't know what to fucking do. So I go back to my shit and I'm just like, well, if he comes back after a while, then I'll tell him that, like, yo, the taxi said, I don't know what happened to the taxi. But I was trying my hardest. Like, every now and then I would try to see if he's, like, close by, see if I can wave him down. But I don't know. I guess he wasn't in his truck or doing something else. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. But he ended up, like, at one point I went out to look for him. He was not there. His truck was not there no more. So hopefully he made it. Because I was supposed to get him a taxi and I did not get him a taxi. Or maybe I did. Who knows? All I know is I was worried about this dude, and then this motherfuckers wanted me to do bullshit. I don't know. And then the lights came back on at some point.
Were you there when that old guy that smelled really fucking bad? Do you remember him?
No.
He smelled like he never put fucking deodorant on in his life. It's like some old guy. He was like a janitor, I guess. Custodian guy. Yeah. He was power washing outside. And like some old couple comes in. Like the guy's like supporting his wife. I'm assuming they're married. Because apparently she fell because of the water and like hit her knee. And her knee was bleeding. Not too bad. But she still fell, apparently.
Yeah.
And they were like trying to de-escalate the situation and be like, apologies, whatever. And then were you there for that?
No.
Okay. The tall, skinny manager pulls me to the side because like there's like literally 4 of us up in the front trying to like help. Mm-hmm. Rolando, the other short, chubby manager, and then like me, and then the tall manager. They're like trying to figure it out, and then she puts me out to the side, and she's fucking laughing.
Oh man, bro!
She was like laughing, and she was like, "How much?" Like in Spanish, she was like, "How much you want to bet that they're like faking this shit, and this and that, and like let's go look at the cameras and like laugh at her while she falls if she actually fell or some shit."
Bruh.
And I was like, alright, fuck it, let's go. I think I'd rather do that than deal with her. And I was literally about to go, but then fucking Rolando was like, oh, we have a customer, go talk to them and get their order. And I was like, bruh. But she was like laughing like, how much you want to bet she's faking that shit? Or if she's not, let's go like just watch her fall in the cameras, bro.
The amount of fucking bullshit that happened at McDonald's.
Yeah, because they were trying to get that old guy fired. Because apparently he laughed too when she fell in front of him. That's what the whole fucking issue was. And then
oh my fucking god, bro! I can just imagine it. Like they fought. He's like, hey. Like, I would have been pissed off, too. But it's just the fact that it was not me that made me laugh. Like, if it was happening to someone else and I would have witnessed this interaction between the employee laughing at them falling, I would have lost my shit, bro. I would have lost my shit. I don't care if I was working there. I probably would have gotten fired that day. Oh. My fuck. But, yeah. Like, I don't want to sound like on some head ass shit, like we're old, but like back then, with that pay, it was not worth it at all. It was not worth it. Nowadays, apparently they're paying like fucking $13, $15 an hour, which I still think is a little underpaid, but it's a lot better.
Yeah.
I would have probably tolerated more than what we fucking did for that pay. But I don't even think there was like. Is it official that it's like $15 minimum wage now?
No.
Okay.
It's still $7.25.
Some fucking bullshit, but you know.
Hold on, let me look it up just to be sure.
Because a lot of jobs I've seen, almost every job I've seen so far, pays more than $10 to $11 an hour, and it's always like $13 to $15 average for like restaurant jobs, because Nicole and Kevin are like trying to find restaurant jobs. My siblings.
It's still $7.25.
It's some bullshit.
But even now, like $13 an hour isn't a lot either.
It's not, but I can tell you what.
It's way better.
It's way better than $7.25, bro. I don't know. I think we said this in the last podcast, but like our paychecks, bro. Whenever we got them, it would be depression. It'd be the Great Depression, bro. I would get my check $300 fucking dollars to $400, bro. No, I think the lowest I got was like $200 or some bullshit like that. Like it was in a $200 area, and I was so fucking upset, bro.
And yeah, that was also my lowest paycheck. We got it together, and we're like, no way. They like probably didn't count our hours right, and then we double counted everything.
Yeah.
We did the right amount of hours, bro. That was just how little we got paid.
It was so fucking depressing, bro. Every time I got my check, I'm just like, what am I doing this for? Like, why? Which eventually led to us just saying, fuck it, bro. You left. I left literally the day after.
Yeah, I left without saying shit, bro. I just didn't show up anymore. And Michael left the next day.
Yeah. I said, fuck that, bro.
And they never called me, like, hey, where are you? But they called Michael.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly what they said, but they were like, where you at?
It was some weird cryptic message. It sounded
literally
like a threat. It's like, you better be in the booth or some shit.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
I remember that shit. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Bitch.
I remember we got it, and I was just like, well, I got it, but like, I remember reading it, and I was like confused, because I was like, anyone else reading this would have thought like, oh, they're just asking you to come back to work. But us knowing what the fuck was going on, we knew for facts it was on some weird shit, bro. It was on some like, you better come back or like I'm gonna fucking kill you type shit. It was weird, but I just didn't answer. And actually, I think
he did call, like, because they called you, right? And I think he did pick up once.
I picked up once because I didn't know I didn't have him like saved. I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled some shit like, oh, let me borrow like someone random's phone so he wouldn't have our number saved or some bullshit. I wouldn't fucking doubt that. But
guaranteed that's what happened.
Yeah. Fucking Rolando's bitch ass probably was too. But they called me and they're like, yo, you come back to work? I'm like, no, this and that way. I basically quit. But to this day, I don't think I've gotten my I haven't gotten my check.
Your last check?
Yeah.
I told you how to get it too, and you're like, nah, fuck that. I'm not gonna get it. It's not worth it.
And for the longest time after we quit, I was like, I'm not going back to that McDonald's, bro.
But it was weird because they mailed me the information on how to get it, the last check, and they never did that to you, right? Mm-hmm. You never got anything mailed to you.
Now that I think about it, I feel like they didn't call you because they called me and they thought like I would put in the word for you, and I guess maybe they sent you the email because I would eventually get it or something. Who knows? Something like that. But yeah. What was me? The time I worked at McDonald's.
It's funny because, bro, it felt like the longest time, but we were literally only there for 5 weeks.
Literally. I felt like I was there, and towards the end, I felt like I pretty much knew everybody. Pretty much. Except for like a couple people here and there. I knew the managers pretty fucking like, not good in terms of like knowing their fucking lives out of fucking McDonald's. But like, I basically knew their routine, how they were doing shit, and that they were on some bullshit. I knew that much. That's all I needed to know. Apart, like anything apart from that, like the regular employees, like cashiers and people, not that were not managers, they're pretty cool. They I don't think any of them gave me like a weird vibe or like an asshole vibe. I don't think.
Nah, but it was just fucked because me and Michael would dream about working at McDonald's, so it's like we never escaped it. Yeah. It was just like an endless cycle of just going to McDonald's, bro.
Literally, I remember the first couple of days, because it's just all fucking basically like autonomous almost at some point. Like you get into your shift, you start like taking orders and giving out money, and it's just like, for me at least, it's at one point you just kind of like go into autopilot and you just kind of like take orders, take money, like on some drone type shit. Mm-hmm. And you do that the whole fucking shift. Take money, take orders, give money, take orders, take money, give money, take orders, whatever the fuck. And and this happens to me a lot whenever I do like a long day of like monotonous shit, where it's like, at that point it didn't happen much, but it used to happen when like we were in band and we had like a long ass fucking day of just doing the same drill over and over again. I would like wake up in the middle like, oh shit, I'm in the middle of drill, and I would wake up on some like, oh shit, I got a set on some shit like that. But it happened to me a lot at McDonald's, like almost as soon as it was my first day, basically. Like, I would wake up in the middle of the night thinking, oh shit, I'm at McDonald's, bro, what the fuck am I doing? Psyching off. Because I would be like, oh fuck, bro. I really thought I would be at McDonald's in the middle of the night, bro, trying to take orders. Like, oh shit, what can I help you? It was scary. Those are nightmares, bro.
Do you have any funny like customer stories? Or like just them being dicks?
I specifically remember a couple times when I was at the front where, this is the thing about being at the front. When you're at the front of McDonald's, like I said, you can't leave. You can't fucking leave. There's nowhere for you to go. There's no window for you to fucking close. There's no partition between anyone. So you're at the fucking front. The cashier shit doesn't come up nowhere past your fucking like chesticles, bro. So your whole shit is exposed. You can't like just kneel down or like sit on a chair. They don't let you do that. So there was one time, or multiple times actually, where, but specifically this one time, this old lady came to the front. It was like, I don't know if she ordered a fucking breakfast sandwich, I think. It was specifically something with breakfast. I don't know if I got her order wrong or what. Point is, they don't let you leave the front. That's number one. The managers do not let you leave the front. So I put in her order, right? Off the bat, she's acting really weird. She's like, because I'm still new. I'm trying to figure out the whole fucking menu. I'm having trouble like figuring out exactly what she wants, because she wants something very specific that's not on the menu but like added on items type shit. And at the time, like adding on items to fucking regular shits, bro, is so fucking annoying. I hated it. So I'm trying to figure out how to add this item or whatever the fuck, right? Figuring out the special or whatever the shit. I don't know. So I put in her order, take her money, and she, like off the bat, I could tell her vibe was like she was fucking annoyed. So I'm just like, okay, hopefully she just gets her order and get the fuck out of here. Cause she, like most people, just stay at kind of like to the side and to the front, and you can still see them.
Oh yeah.
And since you're just kind of there, you're just like, you can't do much but like trying to not make eye contact with anyone for too long. And so I do that, right? And she finally gets her order 473, whatever the fuck. I'm like, I order 473, and she comes pick it up. First flag that I see as soon as she comes to the fucking to the desk or the little area where the orders are, she opens it, starts checking. And I'm like, okay, totally understandable, but hopefully she don't get her shit wrong. I'm like, okay, I'm just let her be. She's probably just like checking, making sure. Understandable. She picks up her bag. I'm kind of like trying to like stay, like I slowly inch my way to the farmost left side, away from her, and she like follows me. She's like, puts the bag on the table. My order, I ordered whatever, chicken biscuit sandwich. I was supposed to get this, but I did not get this. I'm like, oh, okay. My bad. Let me get something. See if I can figure something out for you. Cause the thing is, whenever you got like something wrong,
there's like 4 people that can potentially fuck it up.
Yeah.
So it's not one person's fault. It's like you don't know whose it is.
I don't know whose it is, and usually like the manager has to come and like put in like a code or whatever for a refund or like to change the shit, whatever the fuck, right? So I go to the manager. I'm like, yo, her shit's fucked up. I need help. I don't know what the fuck to do. So manager comes. I forgot which manager it was. Doesn't really matter because they were irrelevant to this part of the story because of this. So they come. They figure out that her shit's wrong. So they're like, all right, put this, and that. What was it, ma'am, that you wanted? Okay. And they showed me how to pick out the shit and add on the items. Immediately after they leave, so she sits there again in the same spot that she went to and just stares at me. Straight up just stares into my fucking soul. And I wouldn't have noticed if I wasn't like looking around, but like I had nothing to do, so I was just kind of like looking around. And I see her, like me and her make eye contact, and she's just looking. She get straight face, and I'm just like, okay,
okay,
all right, cool. She's upset. Fuck. And like I don't know. I'm guessing at that point it was busy, but it takes a while for her order to come in. But it wasn't no longer than like 5 to 10 minutes. And she comes up to me and she's like, where's my order? And I'm just like, I'm not sure, ma'am. I can go ahead and check. Can you please check? Because I gotta go. And I'm like, okay. So I'm just like, okay. She's getting more and more upset. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to fucking do. This is not my fault. So I don't know where, at what point in the whole kitchen area her order is at. So I just kind of go to the side where it's kind of like there's a partition between like the shake and ice cream type of shit machines. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I kind of go there and I'm just like I don't see a manager in sight, so I'm just like I think it was the girl. I'm like, this lady is getting upset. I don't know where her order is, but I'm just gonna stay here. And she's like, okay, cool. She's taking orders, but I'm just like kind of there. And I'm there for like 10 to 15 seconds trying to like act like I'm finding where her order is. Next thing I know, I'm turning around about to go back, and she's like this, like leaning almost over the desk trying to see if I'm like back there. And I make eye contact with her. I'm like, I was not looking for orders, so I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to say. And I'm just like, I kind of walk back, like trying to act like, oh yeah, I definitely have an answer for you, but I don't. So I'm just like, oh yeah, they're almost done with it, ma'am. He's just like, are you sure? Because that doesn't look like the kitchen to me. And I'm just like, I just made sure with her where your order was because she has it on her screen. I don't know. I made up some bullshit. and she was like, can you call your manager over here? So she calls the fucking manager again. And they start getting into a whole thing where it's like, ma'am, if you want to wait for your food, you can wait for your food. But if you do not want your food, you can just go ahead and leave. And she's like, but I want my food now. I already paid for it. She's like, we can give you a refund. It doesn't matter to us. And she's like, ma'am, I already ordered my food. I want my food, and I want a refund. And she's like, no, ma'am, we can give you a refund or we can give you your food. But you can just leave if you want. You can just get a refund. So she was making a whole scene. And I'm just kind of like there. Like, and she kept like pointing and like saying shit like, I wanted this, but he made it this. And I was just like, ma'am, I wasn't saying anything, but I was just so confused. It was my first interaction with this type of like crazy fucking behavior where I didn't have nothing to do with it, but she was still being mean. So it was just like, I was so uncomfortable, bro. I didn't know what to do, so I was just like there, hoping that I could just not get yelled at. So I didn't know what to do, and then basically ended with her getting like a fucking, I think it was her food, and she wanted a refund, but we didn't give her one, so she just kind of like stormed off, and she said like "fuck you" or some bullshit like that. Yeah. I specifically remember she like flicked us off and said she'll be back or some shit like that.
Okay.
I was just like, okay. And the manager was like,
They never come back.
Nunca vienen type shit. But, yeah. It was weird. Because a lot of times she was very hostile, but like, I didn't know what to do. I was just kind of like in shock. Like, this is real. Like, people actually treat people this way. So I was just like, I don't know what to do. I'm not trained for this. So, yeah. I just remember that. She said she'll be back. She was coming out the door. She's like, I'll be back. She never was back. Unless she was there when I wasn't there, but...
She came back during your break. Where's that motherfucker Michael, bro?
And we had name tags too, right?
Yeah, we did.
Fuck that, bro.
Oh, that shit was so weird when they would call you by your name.
Yeah, I remember that. They would be like, oh, thank you, Michael. And I'd be like, I mean, you're welcome, but like, why'd you have to say my name? Oh.
I remember when they're like within our second week, they're like, oh, yeah, they want us to change the way we make our orders. So whenever someone pulls up, you need to say, hi, my name is blank. Welcome to McDonald's. How can I take your order?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And I never did that.
Yeah, me fucking neither. I would always be like, how can I help you? And that would always be like every time you were on the drive-through window, there was at least 2 or 3 people other than you that had a headset on.
Oh my god.
And that's a whole nother thing. Because every time you made an order, every other person in the restaurant that had a fucking headset on could hear exactly what you were saying and exactly what they were telling you. So if you were like making a mistake or like you were confused and you obviously like it sounded, they like sometimes they ask you for some bullshit like, oh, let me get like pancake with 3 strawberries and 2 cherries on the top type shit. I don't know. And like I'm guessing they could like they would be like, oh shit, obviously he doesn't know that, so they would get on the mic and be like, oh, it's right there under the shit or whatever the fuck, like some bullshit like that. But I don't know if you want to start. I've only heard what you said, but you can go ahead and say this story.
I forgot what exactly happened, but one of the managers ends up helping me through the headset, like you said. And then like that lady and then Rolando are helping me, right? And then whatever, like we're done, and the lady's like, oh, by the way, who is this? And Rolando was like, because you have to press a button. Yeah, you have to press a button for you to talk,
and you have to hold it.
You have to press and hold to talk, otherwise they're not gonna hear you, right?
Yeah.
So he was like, oh, by the way, who is this? Oh, it's like, he's Valentine, he's a new guy. And then like there's a little pause, and then he says, this is Valentine, it's a new guy. He's one of the new guys. And then there's like a little pause, and then he says, hee hee.
And I'm telling you, when he says he did not mean like it was just like a little like to make fun of like him laughing. It was literally he. I'm pretty sure
he literally laughed like that. He like
he literally like because the thing is, he has a very almost like feminine voice. So like not on some bullshit, but like whenever he talked, he had a very feminine voice, so he would laugh and it would sound very feminine, almost like a girl. So it's just like whenever like I can almost imagine him laughing into the fucking mic in my fucking ear, bro. Whenever Valentine told me this, bro, I don't know how to describe it. Like not on some rude stuff, but like I would have fucking died, bro. I don't know how to explain it, but that shit, I know for facts that shit would have been funny as hell. Like, I can imagine how he said it exactly. How he laughed.
It took me like 2 seconds to process, bro. Like, I didn't think anything of it when he laughed. Obviously, I thought the laugh was kind of funny, right? But then I was like, wait, hold on a second. This motherfucker really pressed just to make sure we all heard him laugh in the headset. Because I heard him not press it. Because you can kind of tell when they're like pressing it to like, and then not pressing it.
Like there's like a little like
yeah, some little shit. But I heard him like remove his finger from the headset and then like place it back down so he can like hee hee.
It was just the fact that he pressed it down to laugh, bro. And then the laugh he did, bro. That motherfucker. Rolando's probably the most like devious motherfucker, like that was straight up about it. On the low though, the most devious one I'd probably say was the skinny tall lady.
Yeah.
She was devious. She would be on some hoe shit, but like on the low, like, yo, you gotta do this and this and that, like on some asshole shit. But she would be like, porfis.
I just got an email from the district my brothers go to, and they're saying that there's rumors there's like one of the students said that they're gonna show up to school tomorrow.
Oh god.
And they're like, there's a message just to inform you that there are no credible threats directed at blank ISD, and I'm like, no.
The middle school or high school?
It looks like they meant to say where, but they forgot. It's like, school shootings will take place on tomorrow.
The school shooting will take place tomorrow at 9 p.m. Be ready to wear your bulletproof vests.
Yeah, I'm going to tell my parents not to take our brothers. I remember this would happen a lot, surprisingly.
Bro.
like once every 3 weeks, some motherfucker would say, like, don't come to school tomorrow. Like, there will be shooting. And every time that happened, I'd just be like, all right, I'm not going to go to school tomorrow.
It's not, like, at the time, it wasn't even, like, at least for me, it wasn't even, like, a thought process, like, oh, I might get fucking killed. It's just, like, fuck, here goes another fucking school shooting. I'm just not going to go. I'm just like, here we go. Again. Type shit. So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it happens so often, bro. Like, it doesn't make sense. All the riots and shit that happened, specifically at my school. I'm pretty sure I was on like a helicopter camera at least once or twice.
You?
Yeah. I'd be the one that, like, if I even heard like some type of thing that would indicate that there was like some type of fight or like a food fight. Because there was like a couple food fights throughout my years in my high school. If there was any say of like a food fight or like a fight, I would be the one straight to go in there and be like, food fight. Or like if there was a fight, I'd be the first one to like if I saw a group forming, I would like fucking sprint to that fucking shit and be like, yo, what's going on? Bro.
Food fight.
Literally, ask any of the motherfuckers that like went to my school too. Like, I would be the one trying to get into that bitch, bro.
Bro.
There's only one time I like threw something actually in the cafeteria. Well, that was actually a food fight though. It was already in progress, so I was just like, fuck it. Throw fucking milk, I think.
I would have done it too. That's fucking funny, bro.
But yeah, there was multiple times where there was like police and helicopters and shit. And there was like a helicopter above us, and I'm pretty sure it was a news helicopter. So I was just like trying to see if I can get his attention. Like, hey yo, it was good. She was fucking wild, bro. So yeah, while we were having fucking riots, we were working at McDonald's.
I remember there was one time there's like an actual big ass fucking food fight that they like locked down the whole school, and they're trying to even keep the other high school students there.
Yeah.
like, because I went to the other high school, but we went to this one for band.
Yeah, like both schools were like are in the same district, but they kind of like conjoined like their fine arts and athlete programs.
Yeah.
So you were like,
so they were about to lock down the whole school with like students from another high school there.
Yeah.
And we had to escape.
Literally.
Because Alex, we got into Alex's car, like me, Gerardo, I think Kamana, we got in that hole.
Yeah.
And like some guy was trying to stop Alex from driving away, but he still kept going.
Bro, man, I remember that day. Like, I wasn't in band that day, but I remember like I think it was right after I came out of band, and we were trying to like leave, but I went to my next class and they locked that hoe down, and I'm like getting text messages from someone like, oh shit, like we're stuck in the band hall type shit, like we can't leave, and I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. I guess we're all stuck here. And I usually like would skip to band, so like I think I was like thinking about skipping the next class to go to band, so it was crazy, bro. It was fucking crazy the amount of shit that happened at the high school. Like,
people apparently said they're gonna do the purge at the high school too.
Yeah, bro. It was like an SPM riot too.
SPM?
Yeah, like they're like.
Wait, like South Park Mexican or
yeah.
What?
Exactly, like. It was to like free SPM type shit, but he was already in jail at that point for a while. So it's just like, for what reason? Like, for what? Like, literally, people had signs saying like free SPM.
What?
Like, there was no reason, bro.
What was there was that one riot where they wanted to march to fucking downtown Austin, bro.
Oh my god, bro.
What was that about?
It was like a whole thing. They were trying to have like a just cause, like a. I think it was like at the time there was a whole thing about like the DACA thing or some bullshit.
Uh-huh.
And they had some type of like reason like that. But the stupid thing about it was they came up with a fucking brilliant idea of going from our town all the way downtown, which
to the fucking
to the capital.
Like the Capitol building. I was gonna say the White House. The White House of Texas.
The White House of Texas, which I may be wrong, but it's about 30 miles away, 30 to 25 miles. No less than 25. They're not gonna, and they the only way to get to that fucking out of our town is through a highway. So they had a brilliant idea of about like, I don't know, it was like a couple.
I said like 20 students.
Yeah.
And I know only like 3 of them made it to the highway.
Yeah. And it was like 20 or 30 students, something like that. And at like as soon as everybody heard about it, because they did it like as soon as it was like a passing period. As soon as they heard about it, people started like flocking to the fucking like courtyard, and they were like, "Oh shit!" They were walking the fucking to the highway, and everybody was like cheering and rooting for them. I have a video of them actually coming on the bus back, because they ended up catching them, like stopping them in the middle of the fucking highway, telling them to get on the bus, got back to the fucking school and dropped them off. Like they were on some prison bus, bro. It was so fucking funny, bro. There was like a couple cops with them, like what's it called? Escorting them and shit. And everybody ran and flocked to the bus as soon as they saw him coming down the fucking road. They're like, hey. Like, I'm gonna see if I can pull it up, but oh my fucking god, bro.
Don't show it to me after we're done. But
I can't believe it, bro.
Our fucking high school, bro, was cracked. But
yeah, we were having riots.
Riots, purges,
SPM freers,
food fights,
all that shit while we were working at McDonald's.
Fucking race fights.
That too, bro.
I remember it would be like a group of Mexicans and a group of like black people would fight each other, and they would call it was some racist fucking.
Yeah. It was so many fucking bullshit, bro. I'm honestly just... Because if you... Like, I'm not going to say the name of our school. But I know specifically that if you search up the name of our school, you will see that it is the lowest rated school of our district. Like, facts. I've searched it before, and it was like a 1 star. Probably like a half star, but I know for facts it was no more than 1 star. Out of all the schools, and we have a lot of schools in our district, so for it to be the lowest fucking rated school of that shit, out of all the elementaries and out of all the middle schools and high schools, damn. We've been on the news a couple times. At least our district, a whole district as a whole, has been on the news a couple times for bad stuff and like 1 or 2 good stuff. Only 1 or 2, but mostly for bad stuff. But yeah,
that's it for this episode.
That's it. We can probably elaborate more on like some more school shit that happened next episode if y'all wanna comment, leave a like. I don't know, whatever. So yeah,
Churros out.
Churros out. The fuck out of here, bro.